Dan Lieberman, and I am EBCE's marketing director, and today we'll be discussing the transition of residential electric accounts to 100% renewable energy in the cities of Albany, Dublin, and Hayward and Pleasanton, starting in January, and then in Berkeley and San Leandro starting in March. And we'll be summarizing the options available to electricity customers in these cities. We'll then walk through the steps customers can take to choose which electricity option they prefer. And lastly, we'll take questions from those tuning in and we'll answer them in the order received. I have some colleagues on the line with me today, and we'll be doing our best to answer questions in real time. If you have them, you can use the chat tool that you'll see on the screen, and those staff members will do their best to chat back with you in real time, or you can wait until the end and we'll answer all of the questions that we receive at the end if your question isn't answered from the slide deck itself. So let's get started here. East Bay Community Energy, or EBCE, is the local power provider for residential and commercial electricity customers in Alameda County, in its cities, and also in the city of Tracy in neighboring San Joaquin County. Our mission is to provide more renewable energy at lower rates than PG&E and reinvest revenues back into our communities and create local jobs, administer customer programs, and catalyze sustainable development. Technically, EBCE is a joint powers authority, a local government agency created by those cities and the county it serves. And in this way, EBCE is similar to a school district, only instead of providing public education, we provide a public option for energy administered at the local level. And today we're going to talk about those options in more details. And actually on this slide, you can see a really nice photo of the wind farm that we recently completed development of in Livermore. So it's right here in the county. And I think the photo above is a solar farm that we've built 112 megawatts in Rosamond, Southern California. So how does it work? First, it's important to note that all EBCE customers remain also PG&E customers for everything except the source of the electricity that you buy. EBCE procures more renewable energy from resources like wind and solar, which is then delivered through PG&E's lines and wires to customers like you. These are two services: power generation on the one hand, which EBCE provides, and power delivery, which PG&E provides. And those are separately billed, consolidated on your PG&E bill. And we'll go over a bill in just a second in more detail. But in short, PG&E continues to handle billing services and they maintain the electrical grid, while EBCE provides customers with more renewable energy, more choices and lower rates. So next we'll discuss what those choices are. And actually, before I proceed, I want to note that EBCE does not provide natural gas service, only electricity. So when EBCE first began providing service, there were three options available for customers that you see here. Bright Choice, which offers more renewable energy at lower rates than PG&E's standard service. Brilliant 100, which offers carbon-free energy at price parity with PG&E, but includes a fair amount of large hydropower. And then Renewable 100, which is an option that offers 100% renewable energy from California-based wind and solar at a premium cost of 1 penny per kilowatt hour extra, which for a typical customer, residential customer, is about $5 more per month, depending on how much electricity you use in that month. So in response to rising costs of hydroelectric resources during the state's drought, EBCE's board voted to close the Brilliant 100 option to new customers and to have it sunset by the end of 2021. And as a result, starting in January of 2022, EBCE customers are going to have two options. The first is Bright Choice, which is a 1% discount below PG&E standard service. And the other is Renewable 100, which is the 100% wind and solar from California. And then also there is the option of PG&E service is still an ongoing option for you. So to recap, in the cities of Albany, Dublin, Hayward, and Pleasanton, residential customers will automatically transition to Renewable 100 unless they choose another option. So that becomes the default service. If you take no action, you'll be placed onto Renewable 100 if you're a residential customer in those cities, with the exception being customers who are on a low income discount program, such as CARE or FERA or medical baseline. Those customers will be placed onto Bright Choice service if they're not on that service already. So those customers will be placed on Bright Choice, other customers placed on Renewable 100. And then, as always, you can return to PG&E service if you prefer. So let's talk a little bit more about what is a default service. By state law, AB 117, EBCE is the default power supplier for customers within our service area. So that's basically everywhere in Alameda County except the island of Alameda, which runs its own municipal utility. And we also serve the city of Tracy, which is outside Alameda County in San Joaquin County. And everyone that receives service from EBCE begins on this default service. That's what we call the choice that your city has selected for you as a resident of that city. The city council voted on that, and you can see what they've selected here for your jurisdiction. For Albany, you can see it started at Brilliant 100 from the get-go in 2018. Same with Hayward for customers except those on CARE and FERA, I think, in those cases. And then in 2022, customers will be transitioned to Renewable 100 unless they're on one of those discount programs, and you'll see those will go to Bright Choice. And then Pleasanton, which joined EBCE in 2021, started customers on Brilliant 100 and now will transition most of them to Renewable 100. And then, as I mentioned, Berkeley and San Leandro service will be changing in March, and we'll get to that. So here's a little more detail. The city councils of Albany, Hayward, Pleasanton, Dublin, Berkeley, and San Leandro have all taken steps to transition their customers to Renewable 100 in 2022. And you can see the timetable is a little different for Berkeley and San Leandro than for the other cities. Albany, Hayward, Pleasanton, and Dublin will be transitioning in January. Customers transition when their meter is read in January. And then in March, residential customers will transition in Berkeley and San Leandro, and then in October, commercial customers in Berkeley and San Leandro. And then other customers, there were a lot of voluntary customers who just chose Brilliant 100 because they preferred it. And since that option is going away, they will be defaulted to Bright Choice service. So there are these two exceptions that I mentioned to the transition. First, customers that already actively selected Bright Choice. So residential customers in Albany, Hayward, and Pleasanton that defaulted to Brilliant 100, but then actively chose Bright Choice service, they're going to stay on Bright Choice, that you don't need to take any action. And residential customers that take action now, if you preempt before January and choose Bright Choice, then that choice will be recognized and you can get onto Bright Choice. We've noted that December 22, that's a pretty clean date. If you take action before then, you will not be transitioned to Renewable 100. The transition date is actually based on your meter read date, which differs from customer to customer. But if you take action before December 22nd, that is just a safe harbor for getting onto Bright Choice and not being transitioned. But it's worth noting that you can pick Bright Choice at any time. It doesn't have to be before December 22nd. But if you do choose before December 22nd, you won't be moved on to Renewable 100. So if you want to avoid having even 1 month on Renewable 100, take action now. But if you just sort of want to wait, see how your bill changes, and then, in a few months you decide you want to have Bright Choice, you can make that choice for subsequent months. You just pick the time and we'll put you on to Bright Choice. So now a little deeper dive into your bill for people who have seen their PG&E bill, it can be pretty complicated, and we'll take a few minutes here to try and explain the basics here. So you can find your EBCE service on the East Bay Community Energy electric generation charges part of your PG&E statement that's shown here. That's typically going to be page 3 of your PG&E Blue bill, whether you receive it by mail or by email. The EBCE service can be found under the bill period amount. So you see where it says Bright Choice there on the left, and you'll see rate schedule EBCE TOU for time of use rates. ETOUC Bright Choice, that shows you both that you are on the time of use rate, which is a PG&E structure, and that you're on Bright Choice, which is the supply option from EBCE. So you can also see in here that there's a Bright Choice discount that shows up on your bill. It shows how much you've saved that month compared to what you would have paid PG&E. This particular month, it's 60 cents, and this might not seem like a lot, but EBCE is saving customers about $10 million a year in total, and we've saved customers almost $30 million since we've launched on this 1% discount. So taken as a whole for the county, that's pretty substantial. And then you can see for a customer on Brilliant 100, you'll see in the bill in the upper right, it says ETOUC Brilliant 100. And sorry, clicking through here, you'll see the bill in the lower right also displays Brilliant 100 next to the rate schedule. However, there's an additional line item for the Renewable 100 adder that's unique to Renewable 100 customers. And you can see this customer spent an additional $4.77 for Renewable 100, which is a penny per kilowatt hour applied to 477 kilowatt hours of electricity from that month. And our Bright Choice customers will see Bright Choice in both the rate schedule line and in the body of the charges. And so, yeah, so that appears. And then if you're unsure about what service you're on, you can always call us. We have call center representatives standing by 9 to 5 on working days. So they're very knowledgeable, can pull up your bill on their screen and talk you through it. So how to choose your service plan. So let's say that you'd like to choose a particular plan. There are a couple places on our website where you can do that, or you can call our call center. But you can either go from these special landing sites for cities, like you can see ebce.org/Albany or /Dublin. There's some direct links there and information that's specific to your city. Or you can see on the right here are the macro menu or the main menu at the top of our website. If you click on the word residence, this other blue part will drop down, and then I've highlighted change your service, and you click on there, and you'll just need to key in your account number and other info, and it'll switch you right up. And then this is, yeah, sort of a view on the Change My Plan page. Once you're on that page, you'll see the note about, entering your account number. Okay, click, you can see that. Here's where this is a little screenshot of where you'll find your account number on the blue bill that you get from PG&E. So you'll need to have the name, your customer name as it appears on PG&E's billing, your account number, and the zip code where you are billed. And here are the options that will be presented to you. And then you click where it says choose, and that'll take you to the form. On the right side, you'll see that there's a keep me here option. So if you're on Bright Choice, if you defaulted to Bright Choice and you want to make sure you stay there, then you can click the remain on Bright Choice button and fill out the form there. Or as I mentioned, you can call our call center. I can't stress enough how knowledgeable and friendly and good service they provide. There's some dates here that we'd like to review. December 21st or 22nd is the last date to choose Bright Choice and avoid transitioning to Renewable 100 and see any charges. As I mentioned, you can change that service anytime, but if you don't even want 1 month of Renewable 100, it's better to act now and choose Bright Choice. January 2022, That is when Brilliant 100 officially closes and the new defaults go into effect. So electric accounts that have not chosen another option, like Bright Choice or PG&E, will default to Renewable 100. And this transition occurs on an individual account's meter read date in January. So some people will transition later in January, some will transition earlier in January. It depends on your meter read cycle with PG&E. And then February 2022 is when customers receive their first bill with this new charge. So residents in Albany, Dublin, Hayward, and Pleasanton, if you've taken no action, then February, you'll see your bill for January. You receive that in February after they've read your meter. And you'll see those charges unless you are on a care or FERA or medical baseline rate, and those customers will see that they've gotten a Bright Choice savings. So I'm going to go over a few common questions and then open up the phones or open up the chat, and our staff will live answer your questions. So with EBCE, you have the power to choose. You can always request to switch between Renewable 100 and Bright Choice. So if you miss the December 22nd deadline to choose Bright Choice, then you might see Renewable 100 on your first bill, but you can switch to Bright Choice in March or April or whenever suits you. So it's a low risk or no risk option. And then customers often ask, how much will they pay on Renewable 100? So it costs a penny extra per kilowatt hour over PG&E rates for standard service with PG&E. So for a typical Alameda County resident, that's $5 to $7 more per month than what you otherwise would have paid. And remember that it's a volumetric fee. So, if you have a electric car that you're charging, or you have a hot tub, your premium is going to be higher typically than a customer who lives in let's say a 1-bedroom, energy efficient, mild climate type of apartment. That would be less than $5 a month for the typical customer. And again, if you have questions, there's the number down there. You can call, you can press 0 to talk with a representative between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. You can email. We're there to answer your questions. So then finally, I want to mention that all customers who are affected by this transition will receive at least 2 printed notifications by postal mail. One is in December, it's a letter format, and then one in January that's a postcard format. And in addition to those mailers, customers who have their email address on file with PG&E will also receive 2 emails, one in December and one in January from EBCE. And our partner cities are also sending out information in other channels, such as their newsletters, in their social media posts, on Nextdoor, and advertising. We're trying to get this message out as best we can. We're doing the webinars. I think we're doing 8 of those, 3 different languages. So please share this information in your community on social media. And we want everyone to make informed decisions. So perhaps I will stop here. Our contact info is up. Our phone number, the @powered by EBCE, that is our social media handle. We also are happy to answer questions on social, through direct messages. You can see we have web pages that are translated into Spanish and Chinese. We're trying to put as much information up there as well, and we'll do webinars in those languages. So let's see, I will pause and revert to the chat here. I don't know if other staff members want to take any of these live questions. I can start from the top.
Dan, hi, this is
yeah.
Oh, hi, this is Kelly, President from EBCE. Dan, it does look like we were able to answer the questions in real time. I'll pause because maybe I missed something, but I believe we've answered everything. So thanks so much for the participation.
All right, yeah, let's give everyone a minute. But yeah, thanks so much. I'm glad we had active chat going while I was talking through the slides. And if we don't see another chat in the next minute, I'll just close it out.
Hey Dan, we should go through each question just so we can have this in recording.
So that's a good idea.
So the first question was, today EBC rates are higher than PG&E. When will they be lowered as just stated?
All right. So we currently offer the Bright Choice option, which is 1% below PG&E's rates. So since we launched our service in 2018, we've always offered this Bright Choice option at a discount to PG&E rates. So customers who have been on our Bright Choice service or who want to transition onto our Bright Choice service, every month they're saving 1% below what they would have paid PG&E otherwise for this electric generation service, and you'll see that discount reflected on your bill. So it looks like the next question is, can you change your program at any time? And yes, you can. You can go to ebce.org/change-my-plan, or you can find that, by navigating from our homepage. And when you make the change, it gets reflected in the next billing cycle. So, sometimes that takes a number of business days to process at PG&E, and then it should show up. Sometimes there's a 1-month lag in having that recorded by PG&E and reflected on your bill. But at the very latest, it should be your second billing cycle after you make that change. And then we have the question, this is a great program, just wondering how you're getting the word out. I just happened to hear about it from a friend. Oh, then the person says the question was answered. So yeah, getting it out in social media, city newsletters, doing some advertising online, advertising in your local newspaper and print, really trying to get a robust messaging out there in addition to the mailers that we're sending and emails and all of that. And are there any other questions? I'm looking to see. I thought some new chats came in while I was chatting, but I'm not seeing them. Yeah, sorry about that. Juan or Kelly, anything else that we should cover?
Everything looks solid. Thank you guys so much for attending this webinar. We really appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you.